Welcome to our Christian Fellowship of Art Music Composers listening room. And this is a video so that if you aren't here live, you can hear uh, Jacob Jacob Theide, who is our guest composer and creates very interesting things. So Jacob, talk to us about anything you want to talk about right now, except tap dancing. I'm
Yeah.
serious. That'll come later. And
Yeah, yeah.
about lullabies,
Absolutely.
but not those
Yeah.
two.
Well, thanks for having me. Good to be back. I joined CFMA AMC
Nobody can say it.
back in 2018, 2019, and this year I felt the need to rejoin, so happy to be back and joining you all. And
We're glad.
yeah, I live in Lake Dallas in Texas, uh, still in Denton County. So if you're ever at University of North Texas, I am just 10 minutes away. So we can grab coffee or get you. You can come to our house and buy. We can feed you. Um, and yeah, I've been here. I currently in terms of vocation, I work at TIAA. It's a 403B investment company for universities. And I worked at their call center for about a year and a half. And now I'm over Zoom. So I meet with clients who have a 403B, give them guidance on anything about investing, but also um, point them in the right direction for all other financial needs. And I've been really enjoying that. And it's provided a living for me and my family. And my wife's stay-at-home mom, but she is also a tap dancer, and she teaches uh, private lessons and getting back into that. We have twins, a boy and a girl that are 3, and a 1 year old or 18-month year old boy, and God willing, maybe more. We'll see. So yeah, that's kind of me in a nutshell.
That's wonderful. Speaking of, how about if we started right now by putting on this piece? Oh, I have to do, wait a minute. See,
Share your
let's see if
screen.
I can
Yeah.
consistently remember this without talking about it, which is to share the screen.
And I can do it on my side. Okay. I think we're good.
And now do this. And hopefully I will keep switching back and forth from that without any discussion on my part. Whoops, cut off the verse. What was the
Don't
verse
worry.
there, Jacob? What did it say at the end?
I think it was the Isaiah, "For unto us a child is born, son is given." Yeah. So
Jacob, I love that.
thank.
Um, my wife and I are big devotees of jazz, especially the bebop and the big band era. I've
Wow,
even written a couple of pieces in that style myself. And we
you
also love
have.
the old films of Fred Astaire and Gene Kelly and
Yeah.
people like
Yeah.
that. And so, yeah, I wish my wife were here right now. She would have loved to have seen that. She's out, but
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
congratulations! And it's almost like a little percussion part in there with the tap dancing. It just works so well with that setting
Yeah.
you
Thank
did
you.
of it. I just blown away. And I suppose you and your wife must both know about Morton Gould's tap dance concerto, surely.
Yeah, yeah. I did my
That's
dissertation on tap dance, and that was one of the pieces I cited. Yeah.
yeah, well, yeah, that's one of the few classical pieces I know that calls for tap dancer, but it's a great little piece.
Yeah.
And uh, before I stop talking, I have to apologize in advance because of a prior commitment. I will have to leave at 3:35 for a good friend's recital that I committed to. So I'll watch as long as I can.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thanks for reminding me who wrote that tap dance concerto. I couldn't remember who it was. Morton
Yeah.
Gould. That's right. Yeah.
And it's completely written out too, all the rhythms, and really cool stuff. There's a
So
couple.
is tap dancing percussion, or is tap dancing a visual thing, or
Both,
is
I
it
guess.
both? Which is,
Oh,
One quote said it's music for the blind and dance for the deaf. Oh wait, opposite. It's sorry, it's dance for the deaf and music for the blind. I can't remember. So,
it works
but
either way.
it works either way. It's both visual and it is oral or oral. What is it? Yeah, oral.
not anal, oral. Yes. Okay.
So yeah, yeah, absolutely. That was a. I'm a classical saxophonist by heart, and I have no jazz training other than playing in maybe a jazz orchestra or two. So that was my first foray and kind of taking a stab at improvisation and all that. So it was a big. It
You're an
was a big
absolute
learning curve.
natural
Yeah, thank you.
style. Yeah.
Yeah.
You started the saxophone before the composition?
Yes. Yeah. Middle school band. Yep.
Well, why don't we hear now we're going to hear a Bach violin double concerto
This was
adaptation.
Yes, this was all part of I back in 2023 I started a Bach Theide Christmas card and I recorded Bach pieces to send as like a video Christmas card to everyone in my family. And so this one we did two, so we did a jazz and a Bach. So it was a lot of fun.
Okay, let's do it.
That took so many takes.
Well, you
Bach.
can do unique things with Bach. One time, and I kid you not, I was involved in a little performance, two tubas and harpsichord doing
Wow.
that.
Wow.
But they were good tuba players. So it actually sort of worked. Well, Bach is like the Terminator. He can do anything and he'll get back up.
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah,
So true.
Messiah is the same way.
Yeah.
I actually had a question about how you went about this. So, like, how much do you um leave? Is it your wife who decides her steps, or do you have input into the rhythms that she's choosing, or how does that work? And I also want to know, like, practicing. Like you said that
Yeah.
it took many takes, and so how did you all go about practicing and all of that?
We met probably 6 weeks before that weekly. We did weekly rehearsals for both of those. And the jazz, that was her, kind of like David said, that it was just her bread and butter, because that there's repertoire and jazz and improvisation is part of the language. So it was no problem. So she had an idea what she was going to do, and a lot of that was improvised. Most of it was improvised. But then the Bach was a lot more difficult for her, because it is just so, we all know it's all detail oriented, and just every note has a place, every beat has a place. So it was much more difficult. So she pre-choreographed phrases, phrase by phrase, kind of like, I think, imagine how we do like percussionists view things in big sections,
Uh-huh.
rudiments and whatnot. So she had those planned out, and there were a little bit of moments where she improvised, but she would listen to it over and over again and kind of match along the second violin part. I told her I was the second violin, so she latched on to that melody, if you notice that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
but in these cases, yeah, she improvised it. She did a lot of work for it. I can't take any credit for it at all. Like, she's awesome. And but then there were moments like most of the stuff we do, she improvises. She does, and she choreographs herself. I don't really do a lot of notation or composing the actual stuff.
Now, have you written it down afterwards for like somebody else to
Oh, I
do, or
need
is that
to.
something that's like not gonna work?
Yeah. Yeah, I need a that's a great idea, Heather. Yeah. Transcribing. Yeah. But that's a good idea. I haven't done that yet. Yeah.
I
Does
love it.
does tap dance notation
wrote
share any? Sorry, go ahead, Lydia.
I wrote in the chat.
I see that. Yeah. Yes. So we, for movement notation, Lydia, we did, well, there's normal, we did a kind of like a rudiments for tap dance and, a similar to percussion notation. Let me see if I can, Bill, is it okay if I share my screen?
You go right ahead. Yes.
Okay. We did, a notation and study of notation. I did it mostly. So I sent you a request, Bill. I don't know if you can accept it. Let's see.
It is loud.
It's allowed. Okay, there you go. Okay. Screen. So that's one of the chapters. I can send this to the Facebook group, a link of this. And it was, yeah, movement notation is a chapter. And the oldest is Laban notation from the 20s, and it's very convoluted, but it's probably the most detail-oriented kind of notation for dance. And I actually used an example for the doxology. Someone actually choreographed the doxology and notated the movements that they're supposed to do, and we can spend a whole 2 hours on that. But then what you guys might be after is the one we created. Here's the Morton Gould that I quoted. So can you all see that? Yeah, that's the notation for the tap dance. These triplets here, and then what we did, we labeled the basic steps of a tap dancer. So a step is an S and the toe alone contacting the floor. A dig is the heel. A heel drop when with the toe already on the floor, the heel then falls to the floor. So we try to elaborate as much as we can, and then we did rudiments for tap dancing.
You go back up to see that chart? That started to do a
Yeah.
Screen. Take a picture of that chart.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
Absolutely.
you. Okay, now you can proceed.
Okay. And so we did rudiments for tap dancers. So the paradiddle is called a dig brush step heel. So this was a way that we could label it DBSH, DBSH, DB, different iterations. And then you can try to find patterns in like a rudiment. You label it up top while you do the specific instruction below. So percussionists have left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand. And then above it will be like, well, you should do a paradiddle, or I don't know. They're so fancy, like like a 15 with a trill marking, things like that. And then I actually did transcribe one of her what I guess exercises. I need to share my sound. Share. So this is an example of that. Yeah. um, yeah. So then, going back to the dissertation, where did I have it? Anyway, um, so that's a little bit of tap notation for you guys.
Before David leaves, I'd like to, could we hear in other words now? And that means you have
Yes.
to stop sharing.
Yes, I'm where's my thing? Can you take it from me? I can't find my where to
What
stop
is what is the name of your website before you leave that?
it. jakewritesmusic.com. Yeah, I'm sorry, Bill. I don't know how to stop it. It disappeared on me.
Okay, the problem is last month we couldn't see a lot of the stuff when we made a video of it when we had another person do it from where they were, the composer. So let's see what can I do?
You click
Let me
share on your side.
yeah, let me share my side. And this is entitled "Don't Tell Us About It Yet," but let's talk about it later. In other words, take your time. Angels.
Yeah, that one you can see the controller in her hand. It has a bunch of buttons. So so that the idea is the tap dancer can proceed. There's three movements, and they just proceed with there are certain buttons that mean certain things, and she can just control that from the remote while she's tap dancing.
Hmm.
And then she can turn on. I created this device, this plugin that can detect the transients of the tap dance, the hits, and convert it to tempo. So that's what she was doing. She was controlling the tempo with how frequently she was tapping. So if she were to tap like that would be 200 beats per minute, but if it was that'd be 120. So the tap dancer has the ability to control how fast or slow he or she wants to go.
That's fascinating, Jacob. And let me say, I really was taken with the slowing down in that piece. I've never heard tap dancing at that speed before, but it
Yeah.
really works very well. It's very interesting.
Thank you.
So I hate to cut out, especially when I know there's so much more good music coming on tap. But
Yeah.
Thanks.
I will watch the rest of it when Bill puts it up on the internet.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everybody.
David. Yeah.
For that portion, though, you have to promise to stay awake.
Yeah.
It's lullabies.
Lullabies, right. Don't fall asleep. Or fall asleep if you want. That's what it was designed to do. Yeah.
So people like James and Elliot, what did you think about that, both of you? You have any comments or insights? In other words, would you talk?
I thought it was pretty good. I saw Jacob, one of his pieces performed in Baton Rouge like a couple
That's
years ago.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
Absolutely.
interesting to
Was
hear
that
how you changed.
2018? Was that like almost 10 years ago? Are we that?
Yeah, something like that. Maybe
That's
26,
crazy.
17 or something.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah.
And what about James? James, you have a distinct personality. You are lighthearted,
I think he's away from the camera right now,
and you're away from the camera right now.
which is fine.
Okay, James, be that way. Well, what do I have here written? Okay, you did tell us about your own kids. You have twins, and you have a younger son.
Yes.
Boy and a girl are twins.
Yep. They're three
Yes.
and a half. Yep.
Now, now we're going to hear a series of 4 lullabies. And I used to teach world music at Nyack College for about 15 years, a total of 16 before the school closed down, unfortunately. It's a wonderful school. And there are 2 types of music that have characteristics in world music that are very similar. One of them is lullabies, and the other is war songs. Both of those have definite characteristics. So, like a lullaby, what is a particular practical desire to do when you have a lullaby? What is the goal in the lullaby, folks?
Fall asleep.
And in the case of a war song, what would be the particular single goal? Could be
Prepare for
2.
battle.
Yes, and to scare the living daylights out of the enemy. So, like even bagpipes can be scary sounding. But I could play a Pythamalion from a Japanese wedding, and you read a translation of words, and it's so lovely. And then you hear the music on a shamisen, and a very different kind of singing than La Scala would have, which is also different than other things. And it seems to have no. You think this couldn't be for a wedding, but these 2 lullabies, I used to play in my world music class a Zuni lullaby and a Zulu lullaby, and they were very similar, even the words, of course, starting with Z. So tell us about these lullabies before
Yeah.
we hear them.
I mean, the twins. It started in 2022. The twins were born, and I think I had I had been taking a break from music. I graduated my doctorate in 2020, and I was honestly really burnt out and didn't do a lot of composing for those 2 years. And they were born, and it really just kind of inspired a lot that I don't have to. I felt pressured that I had to compose music that was overly complex or meaningful or had a lot of depth into it. That I was free to write whatever I wanted to write, and lullabies really fit the bill for me. That I could just write maybe 4 bars, and it could just be a piece. Um, and then also, like we all know, with social media and the internet, we live in a post TikTok world. Um, the idea of having like short form compositions really appealed to me, and something that I could post online and share with people. And and then having kids, just loving my kids and wanting them to sleep well. Having twins on a feeding schedule, they were premature by about 4 weeks. They were 36 weeks old, so their feeding schedule was about every 2 to 3 hours. And so, but then with them being premature, they're so weak that they just want to sleep all the time. So it was on me and my wife to have an alarm set every 3 hours to for ourselves to wake up and to then feed them. And that was very difficult, honestly. But I think I wouldn't trade it for the world, obviously, because I love my kids. But aside from that, I think God really shaped me in that experience. That just brought me a lot of humility of just how dependent we are as creatures, made creatures. That we're not just soul, we're also body, and that just as much as He wants our hearts, He wants our bodies in devotion to Him, and recognizing that we just like little infants, we can't live a day without Him. And that really formed me in a lot of ways that I take for granted. But then when I really look back on it, I wouldn't trade it for the world, because it just really, I wouldn't be who I am today. And yeah, so that's that.
Don't think without Jesus.
Right.
Without Jesus.
Right. So,
did they ever fall asleep hearing any of these lullabies?
Yeah, I mean, the milk really did it for them. I can't really take any credit. A full tummy, there's nothing like it. But then after I would feed them, if I was on duty and we wanted my wife to get like a 6-hour stint. We try to give each other 6-hour stints, so we were in shifts. And so during my wife's 6 hours, I would wake up and give them formula or whatever was pumped. And then by the time they ate, they were ready to go back to sleep. And we try to do a what is it? Sleep, feed, wake, or wake, feed, wake, sleep, so that they didn't. But anyway, I would put my phone with the lullaby next to them while they were listening, kind of softly. And that, I like to think that did something for them. Yeah.
Lullaby number 11.
putting me to sleep.
Oh, yeah, yes.
I said, it's putting me to sleep.
Yeah, good. Absolutely. Thanks, Greg. See ya.
I would have never dreamed of putting a lullaby in 5/8. That does not sound restful at all, but it works.
Got your mind going.
Can we hear number 10 right now?
Absolutely.
What would Brahms say about that? I don't know.
Oh,
What would James Worth say about that? James, you
Almost
ducked
put me
out
to
before
sleep.
when I told you.
That was so tranquil. And I like whatever, tell me what processing you use because, obviously some sort of reverb or room there. But I have a lot of comments because I have said before, I wrote what I said way back. Love that Bach. And the classical orientation you have is more like a clarinet or flute. And of course, I've been around a lot of sax players, and the ones like you who are primarily classical oriented have this wonderful tone. And I grew up in the 50s listening to um, Paul Desmond on the alto with Dave Brubeck. And what a mellow, sweet tone he had, and you've got that pegged. So
thank you.
That's it.
That means a lot.
I wanted to ask one thing about when you did the double concerto, which blew me away. I know every note of that. I've listened to it for years and years. And was that flutist primarily a classical or a jazz person?
Probably more classical on the flute. He played piano on the jazz, and he got a BA. Yeah, he was a piano player. Yeah, for the jazz, for the "O Call Me All You Faithful." So his story, that's Thomas, and we were actually roommates, and he was a private lessons student while we were at UNT just for a semester, but he got a BA at UNT, so he did 2 years of private study on flute, and he actually, when he graduated, got really good at piano and played on a cruise ship for a year. And that's where he learned all that, yeah, he learned how to play really quickly, and just really talented guy that, so yes, to answer your question, probably more classical on the flute.
About all I want to say now is you have blown me away.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely.
I think Heather is trying to brush us off, though. What are you doing, Heather? You don't have to tell us.
No, I am just like doing some herbal work while I'm listening. So I'm filling turmeric capsules.
Oh, excellent.
But I did have a question about the lullabies because I imagine like they would be very popular. So are you like do you have them out for streaming, or are you selling the tracks, or what are you doing with that?
No, not yet. I would like to. I'd like to put them on those platforms, and a lot of them are piano. The first 9 are all mostly piano, and I'm waiting to see if I can. It's all about right time, right place, because I have my grandma. She's still alive. My grandma's piano. My grandma and grandpa are both alive. They're both in their late 90s. God bless them and keep them. And but we have her piano, and I'd love for a pianist to actually play those and record them on my grandma's piano. Most of the piano tracks are MIDI, and they are okay. They're good, and I like them.
You can say no more.
I'm not a snob. I'm happy to release those, but I'd rather get a human being. I want a human being playing and recording the music on a human being piano. So, especially the one that's probably 80 years old. So
now the next two lullabies are shorter than the first two we heard. So we're now going to hear lullaby number 6, followed by lullaby number 1. Was number 1 the first one you created?
Yeah, it was. Yep.
What is the last number you've created?
15.
15. Good. Not 287. That means you'd be an insomniac. Okay. Okay. All right. All right.
That's it. Yeah. You can go to the next one, Bill.
And you say repeat ad nauseum. So in ancient Rome, they could have used that in a vomitorium. People having trouble throwing up, you would listen.
Yeah, there you go.
That's not true. That sounds like an insult.
I was going to say.
Okay, now, number 1. And stop sharing. And I keep hearing an F. So, but the F isn't notated, so not everything written there that
Correct.
we see. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the I just put it into Ableton Live and put some synthesizers underneath it to give it a nice little pad.
A drone.
A little drone, and yeah.
Like last month's Orthodox.
Yeah, correct.
Program.
And I try to, I love these to be performed in concert halls, but kind of the ideal for me is being just performed on headphones, listening back. So both kind of avenues for performance.
I really like the electronic element of the lullabies. I like the saxophone pieces. I think that you bring out a lot of different colors out of the saxophone, especially when you're like using the microphone to like record all that air
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And yeah, I think it reflects kind of the expertise that one would get from UNT computer music study, but without the elitism or, you know, it has, you know, it's
Right.
not like, oh, I
feel
made
you.
a max patch, you know, it's
Yeah.
more, you know, oh, I have a kid, you know, let's write them a lullaby, you know, it's much
Yeah.
more human. And I like that you're a financial advisor and that you're doing music, you know, kind of for its own sake as opposed to, you know, doing it as a job. So I feel like you've always had kind of like that. I think it allows you to have your own voice.
Yeah.
So
Thank
yeah,
you.
and I think I like the combination. It is kind of a fusion between classical music and kind of like ambient pop music.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like.
I need to get out to the Hargrove and play.
Yeah.
Come to your
Does
next.
the other Texan have anything to say? Could you say a little more, Robert? What
Well,
are
I
your thoughts?
was wondering, Elliot kind of covered, I had a thought about the electronic focus at UNT. We kind of covered that. But I was just wondering, Jacob, you know, after all the effort and cost of pursuing a doctorate, but you're not getting, you know, making your living in music, how that relates, how are you struggling with that? I don't know, maybe you're not struggling, but just talk about how that relates to your walk with God and what you think He's doing in your life.
Yeah, it's a struggle. I won't lie. In terms of identity, but I think that, not to sound pithy or trite, but our identity is found in Christ, you know, and on the, you know, carrying our cross like Him, and to, you know, to be with Him and one with Him. And I've really looked to Makoto Fujimura, who is a artist, a visual artist, a painter, and mineral. He uses minerals like gold and other metals. So he has a lot of, recently he's written a lot of books reflecting on that, being a Christian, especially within the arts world, contemporary arts, because he could probably, you know, he's written that he could probably, like, someone told him, you know, you'd be a lot more famous if you just dropped the Christian title. Because he's in New York City. He's met the Pope and given him a kintsugi, which is like a gold bowl. They have it for tea ceremony. Kintsugi is a Japanese ancient art of mending broken ceremonial tea bowls with gold and other pigments, so that the idea is that even though it's broken, it's more beautiful than it was before. And he's given one of these kintsugi bowls to the Pope before, so he's just a rock star. But then to read his books, to know that this isn't just a fame versus nobody struggle, it's for everyone, and it's really encouraging. He really, I don't know, he could be so high Makoto Fujimura could be so highly elevated, but he brings himself humble, like Christ, and I really admire that about his writings and his how to be an artist that is a Christian. Um, that's been helpful, honestly, reading his books. But then also, yeah,
and so do a lot of other people we've never heard of, you
sure,
know,
yeah,
that,
yeah,
who have also, because God hears every single life and every single thing we do, and he, including every note in our music, and he understands what we're doing better than we do, which is why we need him.
yes,
And again, I say this all the time, and I want to get long-winded. Let's look very briefly. Thomas Aquinas, four things people get in trouble with are fame, fortune, pleasure, power.
hmm.
Fame, fortune, pleasure, power. And they're all issues. Now, the next, I'm going to show you something. I have to not talk about it. Here we go. And I have to bring it down here. Can you all see that?
Yes.
Okay. Could you, Jacob or Jake? Are you? Am I supposed to call you Jacob or Jake? I'm forgetting.
Uh, Friends call me Jake, and telemarketers call me Jacob. No, I'm just kidding. Um,
Does anyone call you Cobb like my grandson, who now is a Jacob, wants to be called Cobb?
that's fun. I haven't heard that. That's new.
Yeah.
Um, no, you can call me Jake, but then like I guess professionally Jacob, and I think we talked about that, Bill, and you go by William, but then friends call you Bill.
Mhm.
Um, so this is part of a seasonal concert. This is probably the most liturgical work I've done for my church is do a sort of concert and a prayer, yeah, a sort of prayer concert, so to speak, for the seasons change. So this was from the fall equinox. We've done summer solstice and winter solstice, and we're doing one in spring coming up, and we live stream them. But it's improvisational loop based music, and my friend Jeremy Ottens, he's written liturgy and poetry to accompany it. So what you're reading are his words as a sort of guide for prayer and meditation, while I try to play my sax.
And how does the congregation respond to that?
Well, we're trying to get more to come because we have a great time. It's wonderful. And probably it's hit or miss. Some like this the fall event, about 5 or 6 of our we have 100 people in our church, 100 or 120 that are members, and so 6 coming out. That's almost 10%. It's 5%. Um,
We even have more than that today. We have 9, I think,
I
right now.
know, right. So,
Wow.
but it's not for me. And that's been
Yes.
kind of like my philosophy that it's not. I don't intend this to be a Jake show. It's a God show. It's for connecting to Him in prayer and solitude and quiet. A place to quiet your soul and hear from Him, and to talk to God.
This sounds like art in our church, and our pastor's not New Age, but he will say things like, feel your toes. This is where you
Yeah,
are now. He'll say those things at the beginning, and it
yeah,
basically is saying, calm down right now. That's what he's saying.
yeah,
Be calm.
yeah.
Well, let me also, at this point, I have to do this. There we go. And I'm supposed to just occasionally
Yeah.
uh,
Different
dr-
play.
drop the needle, so to
It
speak.
it is a 2 hour concert, so I don't expect us to listen to all 2 hours here. I hope we don't. Um,
Okay, let's. Um, I'm going to have to listen to that whole thing because I do a Wednesday night Zoom. We do a Lenten service, and part of it is special music, and I have to hear the whole thing and pick out a 4 minutes of or 5 minutes of that and include that on a Wednesday night the next couple of weeks.
Oh,
So
thank you.
and this is a 2 hour long thing. So I got to listen to the whole thing now. Okay, oh, thanks so much. No, I'm kidding. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So a few more people for that program. We get about also it's like 10 people on a Wednesday night,
Okay.
as opposed to the gigantic 30 to sometimes 40 people we get on a Sunday morning.
Right.
So it's a ELCA Lutheran Church.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Yes,
And
yeah.
tell me how it goes. Tell me how people react, because it's improvisation, and I use Ableton to pre-record and loop over myself in uncoordinated cycles. Like we all know looping with a loop pedal, and that's a pre kind of determine you start it once and then you stop, and then it loops over itself over a fixed maybe 12 bars or 60 seconds. But this is fun for me. I have a lot of fun for it because maybe one loop will be 8 seconds, and then another loop will be 15, and another will be 30. And so you get these kind of different combinations and different kind of contrapuntal textures that you would not expect, and kind of like canon, almost like canon, but still, yeah, unprecise loops is maybe a better way of saying it.
And what is the name of the guy who writes the words?
Jeremy Ottens. Jeremy, normal spelling, and then his last name is Ottten, like November S.
Yes. Jeremy Ottens. Very good. Any other comments on this? Now we could send all these things out also when I send out I don't know if that works. It would be nice to send out a link also on Facebook for all of these pieces.
Yeah.
Since you provided them. We run into trouble with that where Facebook does not want me to do that. I have to get someone else to send it in because
Okay.
I don't know what.
And do you mind sharing the IMSLP page?
Oh yes, wait a minute. Let's do that right now. How do we share that? Let me make this very big.
Screen and just click just to
yes.
show.
Let me again. I'm about to share the screen. Sorry.
I'm embarking on a project of releasing all of my music on IMSLP. Does everyone know about? Does anyone not know about IMSLP that I can explain?
I've heard of it, but I don't know much.
I can click the link right now.
Yeah, and then should take you to you. There we go. Yeah, it started as the Petrucci Music Library.
Oh yeah, Petrucci.
Yeah.
So it's for public domain works. Oh, thanks, James. Thanks for hopping in. But as composers, it's up to you, but you have to be willing to release it to your music to the Creative Commons, which I know is for some and not for others. But I had I was just thinking, well, one, no one's buying my sheet music anyway, so I may as well make it freely available digitally. But then second, if they want to support me, what I've done, I've put it on print on demand sites like well, Amazon is one, but then also and then Bill, do you mind so clicking on going back to I'm so sorry, I don't mean to take you back, but like go ahead and click on, I don't know, any of those pieces, it should take you to a PDF score. So if you click on
Let's
them,
do fifth perspective.
yeah, that was from my undergrad. So you should be able to download the score. So if you go ahead and click on, oh yeah, start verification. I don't know what that is. You're not a robot.
Okay,
Oh.
so how do I go back? Oh, okay.
Yeah, just click back and actually click on complete score on the left. And then I understand. And then then you should be able to check this music out. And then at the bottom of every score, I try to put a link to where you can purchase a physical version. And that's been kind of my thing, is just release the digital score free, but then annoy everybody by putting a link to support me on every page to buy the music. So,
being a composer is like asking somebody out for a date. It's like, don't hang up on me.
right, exactly. So, that we'll post that if you all want to see more. And I'm very passionate about that. It's very exciting to me and I've gotten random emails. I actually, the clarinet professor at Iowa State sent me a message saying that he found the music and he bought it, and his quartet's going to play the music. So,
oh, wonderful.
Kind of free publicity for us.
You'll be famous.
No.
But will you become rich?
No.
Will you have power, and will you get pleasure from all this? Yes. Okay.
Who said that? Augustine?
Thomas Aquinas.
Aquinas, okay.
Yes.
I didn't read that.
Jesus has one church for 2,000 years. And I think the Holy Spirit likes different denominations. Yeah. I really don't pray we all become one denomination. I think it works very good. Okay. Now, then the last piece we're going to hear is When All Else Fails, Take Your Time.
Yes. I wrote this 8 years ago. It's probably my oldest of these. And it's a lot of fun. It's sorry for the tuba player because it's a lot of breathing.
Okay.
And I think you need to turn up the volume on the YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully it's not too loud.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Do you mind doing it in the middle? Yeah. Or I don't know. It's been okay for everybody.
Let me just stop this a second so we can get it done. Oh, folks, that's not necessary. Please, don't do that. But I was going to say something. I can't remember what it is. My wife always is happy when that happens. Okay. Here we go. Any comments? John, do you have anything to say for yourself?
Well, the minimalism is kind of interesting what he did with it, actually, yeah. With the electronics and the coordinated live solos.
Yeah, it was me and Matt went to the same undergrad, and so kind of knew his capabilities, and I was just kind of testing him out. And then I gave him the sheet music, and I said, "Can you do it?" And he said, "Yeah, no problem." And just a humble guy, just a very, very down to earth. But I'm sure it's not fun, but I love it because it was like probably, even though it's very simple, it's probably virtuosic just because of it's for tuba. All those notes are for tuba. So
There's a definition I like for form in music, which is a combination of repetition and contrast.
Yes.
That's what form is.
Yeah.
It's those two things.
Yes.
So as I was hearing that piece, how would you, I'm not telling you to rewrite this piece, but with another piece where you have this very repetitive, and of course it is contrasting all the time. It's like an overlapping of repetition and contrast. But having something like where it ends, where what you did, and then you have like a soliloquy unaccompanied, which is not repetitive, which is and just the tuba, which
Right.
is which becomes that becomes a contrast at the end,
Yeah.
a change. That would be like in Arvo Pärt's um, and Sarah was 90 years old. Do any of you know that piece besides Robert Myers?
No.
Uh, do any of you know that piece? It is a half hour long. If you think this repeats, whoa, does that repeat? It's just like drumbling, boom, 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 and then it goes and back to boom, 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 boom,
What's it
boom,
called?
boom. And the idea is that Sarah is waiting for a child. And the last section, the voice goes into like a soprano singing it, and it's a contrast, like at the end, and you feel like the Isaac laughter has been born, Yitzhak, and but you know they're all we. It would be if we had an hour right now. We do not. I could ask each of you to describe to me what your style is, but you could do that. You could send me an email. Would you do that? Just give me a paragraph to describe what your music sounds like.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting thing
Yeah.
to do. Maybe everyone to do it, and in a group, encourage that.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just I had some of the similar thoughts it was very Tintin like, and I didn't. Was that a willful choice, or is that just how that happens to work out with that style you were using?
It just happens to work it out to be similar. I probably had not heard of Tintinabuli by then. In my studies, the what was going through my mind was I was trying to get a mastery of Max MSP, and all of that was generated through just cycle objects, just sine tone from Max, and then trying to develop a timing in a metronome loop. But then, but also it was the start of exploring how, like I call it a ride rhythm, that 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, but then like stretching that out so it's like 1 2 3 4, and that affects our perception of speed and time. So like a lot of my music is rhythmically contrasting and exploratory, as opposed to harmonically, um, and that's where I gravitate and I favor toward exploring in my own compositions. Is just how does our perception of time and rhythm change, and how can I play with that and vary it?
And was there randomness built into that, or was the electronics all predefined?
It was predefined, right? I try to make it so there's freedom for the performer, maybe have a foot pedal to proceed when they would like, and repeat those phrases as much as they want or as little as they wanted. For Matt, he just wanted to do 2 or 3 times, so I just did two repeats for each phrase. Um, but then also it was like, how high can I go? And you kind of heard that in 7 minutes. That pacing was just dictated by our hearing range, and I went as high in the A minor scale, as high as you could in the frequency range, up to 19,000 hertz or whatever it was. So that was a lot of fun too, to experiment in the concert hall and then see how it changes and affects the timbre, and it eventually just sounds like an organ at the end. That's what I think
Yeah.
when I hear
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah, and after when I heard it toward the end of it, I think, or toward the middle, oh, is this an organ or is this electronic? Well, of
it's all
course,
sine tones, yeah, sine tones and electronics, yeah. So but then the effect sounds like an organ with all stops on.
for our next 1 or 2 programs, I'm not sure how it's going to work. Let me ask Walter Saul his advice, and some maybe David Canfield, maybe you, I don't know, is to have either 1 or 2 programs the next 1 or 2 will be one on relating the passion of Jesus Christ, what the the nails in the hand stuff, and getting whipped and being spit on and all that stuff, and then being buried, like the Stations of the Cross. And then the next one, or maybe it could be in one program, is of course the most extraordinary nanosecond in the history of our planet, the nanosecond of Jesus coming back to life, and music about that subject too. So if you have, and I'd probably like to do more of those kinds of. It's very good to feature one composer, but it's probably good to feature a lot of composers a little bit. Then we hear comparative things, not just at Christmas, but a little bit more. So that's what I'm going to prepare to do. My traditional person to close us in prayer is John Akins. Would the rest of you object to him closing us in prayer, or would that's okay with everyone? Elliot, if you want to barge in and say, no, I want to pray, don't let him to pray, tell me, okay? He smiled. I guess that's not the case. Could you close us, please, in prayer?
All right.
And pray for us also, for all of us, including the 7 of us right now that are here, but beyond that even.
First of all, I thank you today for another time of getting a closer up look at one of our members and seeing what they do in their life to glorify you through their music and their art. And I just thank you for this time together. And I pray that you will be with each one of us, the ones who are here today, and all the rest of our organization too, that you will lead us and guide us as a group and as an organization seeking to glorify you. And we just pray that you'll give direction, Lord, for upcoming programs too, Lord, and be with all of us now. We pray through this upcoming Passion and Easter season. We pray in Jesus' name, Amen.
And one last thing, thank you, each of you, who are here today and tuned in, and including Lydia, who has a cold and doesn't want to be coughing and talking. But thank you very much for doing that. And that's one, and we want to encourage more composers in our group to do that, to be an encouragement to each other and to learn from each other. So keep doing that, and keep up the good work. KUTW, whatever the letters are, I don't know. Keep up the good work.
I just want to thank you all too.
Right. And thank you very much, Jacob.
And humbled.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for your ears. And it's been a while since I've shared my music, so thank you.
And Jacob, you're much gentler than you appear on some of your photos, especially the ones who have hair on one side only, and you look like oh my, who is this? You know, something going to happen to me now. Okay.
Yeah, shave it all off.
Yes.
Just go aesthetic. Yeah, ascetic.
God bless you and your families, all of your families.
Likewise.
Okay.
Thank you all.
See you next month sometime. We'll find out when. Okay. And keep composing and praying, and be blessing to other people in your lives and family, particularly in your church and other people. And if your pastor annoys you, don't knock it off and say, no, I'm not going to do that, devil, shut up. Okay. In Jesus' name, have a good week.
Bye now.
Next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.